Let me share with you a principle that many find difficult to grasp. Every desire you've ever had, every longing you've ever felt, was placed within you by your deeper self, preparing you for something far greater than your conscious mind could conceive. Your desires are not random. They are the language through which your divine self communicates with your outer self. Many of you come to me seeking specific manifestations, a particular job, a specific relationship, a certain amount of money. But I tell you this, while you fixate on these specific forms, your divine self is orchestrating something far more magnificent than your limited consciousness can imagine. The very fact that you're hearing these words now is evidence that you're being prepared for a manifestation beyond your current understanding. Consider this: every great gift you've received in your life came not from your conscious planning, but from a deeper working on your behalf. Think back to the most profound moments of your life. Did you plan them? Did you consciously arrange them? Or did they arrive unexpectedly, yet perfectly timed? When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable happens to your entire approach to manifestation. You stop trying to control every detail. You stop limiting yourself to what your conscious mind can conceive. You begin to trust in the infinite wisdom of your deeper self, knowing that it is preparing experiences far beyond your current understanding. Let me tell you something vital about this process. Your conscious desires are merely shadows of deeper desires you don't yet recognize. When you long for a specific job, your deeper self might be preparing you for a completely different career that will fulfill you far more completely. When you fixate on a particular relationship, your divine self might be orchestrating connections that will transform your understanding of love entirely. Here's a profound truth about receiving what you don't yet know you need. It requires a complete surrender of your limited concepts about what's best for you. This is not passive resignation. It is active trust in the infinite wisdom of your deeper self. This surrender to your deeper wisdom is not what most of you think it is. It's not about giving up or letting go of your desires. Rather, it's about expanding your consciousness to embrace something far greater than your current limited concept of what you need or want. Let me share with you what happens in consciousness when this surrender becomes complete. First, all anxiety about your future falls away. All desperate seeking ceases. All compulsive planning dissolves. You enter a state of alert expectancy, knowing that something magnificent is being prepared for you, even though your conscious mind cannot yet conceive of what it might be. Many of you resist this surrender because you believe it means losing control. But I tell you this, what you call control is actually limitation. Your conscious mind, with its limited understanding, has been restricting the infinite possibilities that your deeper self could manifest for you. Consider this: every truly transformative gift in your life came wrapped in a package you wouldn't have chosen. The relationship that changed everything didn't match your criteria. The career that fulfilled you wasn't in your 5-year plan. The opportunity that transformed your life came through a door you didn't even know existed. When you truly understand this principle, something remarkable happens to your relationship with desire. You stop seeing your desires as demands that must be fulfilled exactly as you've imagined them. Instead, you recognize them as signals, as indicators pointing towards something far greater than your current understanding can grasp. Let me tell you something crucial about this process. Your deeper self is already aware of every potential, every possibility, every perfect manifestation that could serve your highest good. While your conscious mind struggles to figure out how to get what you think you want, your deeper self is orchestrating circumstances that will bring you what you truly need. Here's a profound truth about this orchestration. It's happening right now, in this very moment. Even as you hear these words, wheels are in motion, circumstances are being arranged, connections are being formed that will bring you exactly what you need, even though you don't yet know what that is. The very fact that you're hearing these words is not an accident. Your deeper self has brought you here because you're ready to receive something beyond your current understanding. The desires that brought you here, like trail markers, leading you to a destination far more magnificent than your conscious mind could have planned. These divine arrangements being made on your behalf are far more intricate and perfect than anything your conscious mind could devise. Your deeper self is weaving together countless threads of circumstance, creating a tapestry of manifestation that will astound you when it's finally revealed. Let me share with you how this divine orchestration works. Right now, as you hear these words, there are people being moved into position in your world. There are circumstances being arranged. There are opportunities being created that will perfectly align with what you truly need, even though you don't yet know what that is. Many of you worry about missing opportunities or making wrong choices. But I tell you this, when you're aligned with your deeper self, you cannot miss what's meant for you. The very desire that brought you here is evidence that you're being guided towards something far greater than your current understanding can grasp. Consider this. Every person who will play a significant role in your future manifestation is already being prepared. Just as you are being prepared, they too are being guided by their deeper selves, moving them into perfect alignment with the role they will play in your unfolding story. When you truly grasp this principle, all sense of rush and urgency falls away. You understand that timing is not in your hands, but in the hands of your deeper self, which knows exactly when every element needs to come together for your perfect manifestation. Let me tell you something vital about this divine timing. It operates outside of your conscious concept of time. While your outer self might be impatient for results, your deeper self is orchestrating events in perfect sequence, knowing that premature manifestation would rob you of the very thing you truly need. Here's a profound truth about these arrangements. They are being made not just in what you call the future, but in what you call the past as well. Your deeper self exists outside of time, orchestrating all moments simultaneously to bring about your perfect good. Think about this: every disappointment you've experienced, every seeming failure, every delayed manifestation has been perfectly orchestrated to prepare you for what's coming. Nothing has been wasted. Nothing has been a mistake. Everything has been preparation. The very circumstances that you might have seen as obstacles or delays have been essential elements in preparing you to receive what you don't yet know you need. Your deeper self has been using these experiences to expand your capacity to receive something far greater than your current desires. This perfect preparation happening in your life right now is far more comprehensive than you realize. Every experience you're having, every person you're meeting, every challenge you're facing is carefully designed to prepare you for what's coming, something far greater than your current desires. Let me share with you what's actually happening beneath the surface of your daily experiences. While your conscious mind is focused on immediate concerns and specific desires, your deeper self is using every moment, every interaction, every circumstance to prepare you for a manifestation that will transform your entire understanding of what's possible. Many of you resist your current circumstances, seeing them as obstacles to what you want. But I tell you this, these very circumstances are the training ground, the preparation, the necessary foundation for what's coming. Your deeper self knows that you must be prepared to receive and maintain what's being arranged for you. Consider this. If you received right now what your deeper self has prepared for you, would you be ready for it? Would you have the capacity to receive it? Would you have the wisdom to maintain it? Your current experiences are building that capacity, developing that wisdom, preparing you to not just receive, but to sustain what's coming. When you truly understand this principle, your entire relationship with your present circumstances changes. What once seemed like delays become obvious preparations. What once looked like obstacles reveal themselves as stepping stones. What once felt like rejection shows itself as protection, keeping you available for what's truly meant for you. Let me tell you something crucial about this preparation. It's happening on multiple levels simultaneously. While you sleep, while you work, while you worry about your desires, your deeper self is orchestrating a symphony of circumstances, each playing its perfect part in preparing you for what's coming. Here's a profound truth about this preparation. It's not just preparing you to receive something new, it's preparing you to become someone new. The person who can receive and maintain what's coming for you is not who you currently think you are. Your deeper self is preparing you for a complete transformation of identity. Think about this. Every great gift requires a receiver capable of recognizing, receiving, and maintaining it. Your deeper self knows this, which is why it's using your current circumstances to develop in you the exact qualities, understanding, and capacity you'll need for what's coming. The very fact that you haven't yet received what you think you want is evidence of this loving preparation. Your deeper self loves you too much to give you something before you're prepared to receive and maintain it. This is not delay, this is perfect timing. This transformation of identity that's taking place right now is the key to receiving what you don't yet know you need. Your deeper self isn't just arranging external circumstances, it's orchestrating a complete revision of who you believe yourself to be. Let me share with you what's actually happening in your consciousness right now. While your outer self may be fixated on specific desires and goals, your deeper self is systematically dissolving the limited concept of identity that would make it impossible to receive what's being prepared for you. Many of you try to manifest from your current concept of self, wondering why your desires haven't materialized. But I tell you this, what's coming for you requires a completely different self-concept. You cannot receive what's being prepared for you while maintaining your current limited identity. Consider this. If you were already the person who could receive and maintain what's coming for you, wouldn't you already have it? The very fact that you don't yet have it is evidence that a transformation of identity is required. This is what your deeper self is working on right now. When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable happens to your understanding of your current experiences. Every challenge that forces you to expand your self-concept, every situation that pushes you beyond your comfort zone, every relationship that triggers growth, all of these are part of your identity transformation. Let me tell you something vital about this transformation. It's not something you do, it's something you allow. Your deeper self knows exactly what aspects of your current identity need to be dissolved, what new aspects need to be developed, what limitations need to be transcended. Here's a profound truth about this identity transformation. It's happening right now in this very moment. Even as you hear these words, your deeper self is working to dissolve the limited concept of self that would make it impossible to receive what's coming for you. Think about this. Every great receiving requires a corresponding being. You cannot receive at a level higher than your self-concept allows. This is why your deeper self is focused not on changing your circumstances, but on transforming your identity. The very resistance you might feel to certain experiences in your life is often resistance to this identity transformation. Your current self-concept fights to maintain itself, not realizing that it must be transcended for you to receive what's being prepared for you. This resistance and transcendence you're experiencing is the very heart of your preparation. Your deeper self must systematically dissolve every aspect of your limited self-concept that would make it impossible to receive what's being prepared for you. Let me share with you what's actually happening when you experience resistance. Every time you resist a circumstance, every time you fight against what is, every time you insist life should be different, you're actually resisting the very transformation that would allow you to receive what you don't yet know. Many of you interpret resistance as a sign that something is wrong, that you're off track, that you need to change your circumstances. But I tell you this, resistance is often the clearest sign that you're exactly where you need to be for your transformation. It's your limited self-concept fighting against its own dissolution. Consider this. If your current identity, your current self-concept, your current way of being was sufficient to receive what's coming for you, you would already have it. The very presence of resistance indicates that your deeper self is working to expand your capacity beyond your current limitations. When you truly understand this principle, your entire relationship with resistance changes. Instead of fighting against it or trying to escape it, you begin to recognize it as a signal that transformation is actively occurring. Resistance becomes not an obstacle, but an indicator of growth. Let me tell you something crucial about this process. Your deeper self knows exactly how much resistance you can handle at any given time. It knows precisely how to pace your transformation so that you can integrate each new level of expansion without being overwhelmed. Here's a profound truth about resistance and transcendence. They are two aspects of the same process. Resistance arises when your limited self-concept encounters something beyond its current capacity to receive. Transcendence occurs when you allow that limited self-concept to dissolve in favor of a greater identity. Think about this. Every major transformation in your life came through transcending a limited self-concept. Every significant receiving required you to become someone new. Your deeper self is now orchestrating the most profound transformation yet, preparing you to receive something beyond your current ability to imagine. The very resistance you feel to certain people, circumstances, or experiences is often your limited self fighting to maintain its boundaries. But these boundaries must be dissolved for you to receive what's being prepared for you. Your deeper self knows this, which is why it continually brings you experiences that challenge your current identity. This dissolution of limitations is not what most of you think it is. It's not about forcing yourself to be different or struggling to overcome your current nature. It's about allowing the artificial boundaries of your assumed identity to dissolve naturally in the light of greater understanding. Let me share with you what's actually happening as these limitations dissolve. Every concept you hold about who you are, what you're capable of, what you deserve, what's possible for you, all of these are being systematically dissolved by your deeper self to make way for something far greater. Many of you try to overcome limitations through willpower and effort. But I tell you, this true dissolution of limitations happens not through struggle, but through understanding. When you truly understand that your limitations are merely assumed states, they begin to dissolve of their own accord. Consider this: every limitation you now accept as real was at some point assumed into consciousness. You weren't born believing in limitations. You weren't born doubting your worth or capability. These are all learned states. And what can be learned can be unlearned through the power of your wonderful human imagination. When you truly grasp this principle, something remarkable is to your entire approach to transformation. You stop fighting against limitations and simply allow them to dissolve in the light of greater understanding. You recognize that limitations exist only in consciousness, and consciousness can be changed. Let me tell you something vital about this dissolution process. It's happening right now, even as you hear these words. Your deeper self is using every experience, every interaction, every circumstance to show you the unreality of your assumed limitations. Here's a profound truth about the dissolution of limitations. It happens not through addition, but through subtraction. You don't need to add anything to who you are. You only need to remove the artificial limitations you've accepted as truth about yourself. Think about this: your true self, your divine self, has no limitations. Any limitation you experience is simply a limitation you've accepted in consciousness. Your deeper self is now working to dissolve these accepted limitations so you can receive what's being prepared for you. The very experiences that seem to confront you with your limitations are actually designed to help you transcend them. Each challenge, each obstacle, each seeming restriction is an opportunity to recognize and release another assumed limitation. This recognition and release of limitations is the gateway to receiving what you don't yet know you need. Every time you recognize a limitation as merely an assumed state, you open yourself to possibilities beyond your current understanding. Let me share with you what happens in consciousness when you truly recognize the unreality of a limitation. First, all struggle against it ceases. All effort to overcome it disappears. All resistance to it dissolves. You simply see it for what it is, an assumption that can be released as easily as it was accepted. Many of you believe that recognizing limitations means acknowledging them as real obstacles to be overcome. But I tell you this: true recognition means seeing limitations for what they really are, mere shadows in consciousness with no substance or power except what you give them through your belief. Consider this: every limitation you now accept as real seems to have evidence supporting it in your world. But this evidence is not the cause of the limitation. It is the effect of your acceptance of the limitation in consciousness. Change the consciousness, and the evidence must change. When you truly understand this principle, something remarkable to your entire experience of life. You stop seeing limitations as real barriers and start recognizing them as temporary assumptions that can be released through a simple shift in consciousness. Let me tell you something crucial about this release process. It's not something you do, it's something you allow. Just as darkness doesn't need to be fought, but simply disappears in the presence of light, limitations don't need to be overcome, but simply dissolve in the presence of understanding. Here's a profound truth about recognition and release. It happens in an instant in consciousness, though its effects may appear gradually in your world. The moment you truly recognize a limitation as merely an assumed state, its dissolution begins, making way for what's being prepared for you. Think about this: every limitation you now accept was at some point recognized, and accepted by you as truth about yourself or your world. Your deeper self is now leading you to recognize these accepted limitations as what they really are, temporary assumptions that can be released. The very circumstances that seem to reinforce your limitations are actually designed to help you recognize their unreality. Each situation that appears to confirm a limitation is really an opportunity to see through the illusion and release another barrier to receiving what's being prepared for you. So tonight, I leave you with this final truth. What's being prepared for you right now is far greater than anything your conscious mind can conceive. Your only task is to allow your deeper self to dissolve the limitations that would make it impossible to receive this greater good. Remember, you are not here to make things happen through effort and struggle. You are here to allow your true self, your divine self, to express itself fully through you. Every limitation being dissolved, every circumstance being arranged, every preparation being made is in service of this ultimate expression. The very fact that you've heard these words tonight is evidence that you're ready to receive something beyond your current understanding. Your deeper self has brought you here because you're prepared to release the limitations that have kept you from receiving your perfect good. Go forth, now in the absolute knowing that what's being prepared for you is exactly what you need, even though you don't yet know what it is. Trust the infinite wisdom of your deeper self. Allow it to dissolve whatever limitations need to be dissolved. Let it prepare you in whatever way is necessary. For I tell you this with absolute certainty, you are about to receive what you didn't even know you needed, and it will transform your life in ways your conscious mind cannot yet imagine. Your only task is to allow it, to trust it, to accept it as already done in consciousness. Now go in peace, knowing that everything is working together for your perfect good, that every circumstance is serving your transformation, that every moment is bringing you closer to receiving what you don't yet know you need. For that is the law, and that is the promise.